So, Shameless are back once again with another classic giallo. I can't believe how active they've been this year, you know, it's crazy. Well, anyway, we're going to be taking a look at Who Saw Her Die, also known as The Child. This is a 1972 Italian giallo, directed by Aldo Lado, who looks like he's done a bunch of giallos, especially throughout the 70s and 80s, none of which I've seen though, so hopefully he's good, hopefully he's alright. The film stars George Lazenby, who is probably best known as being Bond after Connery was. He appeared only in one 007 film though, on Her Majesty's Secret Service. And we also get in this Anita Strindberg. The name sounds familiar, I keep forgetting how to say it though. Anita Strindberg, who was in Almost Human, that we've covered already in this series. And she was also in a bunch of Martino films that I haven't seen before. So this was teased as being Shameless's next release before the last episode's film, Strip Nude for Your Killer. So this one clearly got held back for some reason or another. Hopefully that's not a bad sign. Let's have a look, shall we?
Pigeons, where are you? It's me! I'm here! I'm back! Pigeons!
Here's your bat. If you don't mind, I don't have time to play ping pong today.
Just one little game.
The plot follows Franco, played by Lazenby, who is an artist in Venice. His daughter comes to stay with him, but she's found dead in one of the canals. Now, Franco thinks that this is foul play and that she was murdered, so he sets about trying to find the killer before they kill again. It's a slower film, for sure, with a very, very simple story. The slower pace, it worked for the first hour, it builds a lot more on the atmosphere, and for the first hour I was pretty engaged. But with that last half an hour, it really starts to overstay its welcome, and it doesn't even really pick up during the climax of the last 10 minutes. It's definitely not the best giallo, but it is far from the worst as well.
That ain't where he's gone, Mother. This is Thursday night, and on Thursdays he plays basketball. Go over to the gymnasium, son. When Father James runs.
The acting and dubbing were all pretty good, to be honest. No complaints. There's the odd silly side character, but all the main characters are really good. Solid, really, yeah. Nothing wrong with them at all. The gore is very minimal in this one. It is definitely not an Argento film. Outside of some stylised bright red blood, it's mainly just your stabbings and strangulation. Nothing too extreme, really. It's all pretty by the books. There is nudity in this, but much like the gore, again, it's very by the books and quite tame for this sort of thing. A few topless scenes here and there, nothing too sleazy and in your face. The real standout for this film is its setting. There's some really nice wide shots and plenty of varied environments, and all this compared with a really nice score from Morricone, and you get a decent feel. It's got a nice giallo feel to it. I was a little disappointed in the ending though. Without spoiling too much, it's the typical trope for a giallo film, and unfortunately it doesn't really hold up too well nowadays. So, a year after this film came out, Nicholas Roeg released Don't Look Now, and to say that there are similarities between the two films would be a bit of an understatement. From plot to setting, even to some stylistic choices, they are very, very similar films. And I'd already seen Don't Look Now, so watching this I kept saying, I've seen this sort of thing before, I swear I've seen this before. This is just like Don't Look Now. Except this one is way, way, way tamer. If you want something that's just like this but with a bit more gore and a bit more sleaze to it, Don't Look Now is a pretty decent film and probably worth checking out, and the ending is completely bizarre. So funnily enough, as in Italian films, everybody gets dubbed over regardless of whether they're an English speaking actor or an Italian actor. So Lazenby also got dubbed in this, and he got dubbed by a guy called Michael Forrest. Now you've probably heard his voice before in things because he's dubbed a ton of stuff. Most notably though, he's dubbed a ton of anime. So he was in Mobile Suit Gundam, he was in Cowboy Bebop, he was in Lupin the Third. His voice has probably come up somewhere in something that you've been watching. Lastly, it seems that Shameless have rectified the missing spine number 25, like they said that they would to me, so that's good. Don't know why they had to rush strip nude out. It was probably an issue with this film, maybe the print wasn't right or something, didn't pass quality control, I guess. Who knows? Now all they need to do is rectify the missing spine number 20, but I'd hazard a guess that we're never going to see that one.
Ask him. I don't know anything about it.
For example, a wealthy lawyer who's been known to molest children.
I won't permit that. Andrea, would you please show this gentleman out and send a maid in? I spilled some grain.
So, print-wise for this, it's pretty spot on. I don't really have much to say on it, to be honest. Visually, looks great, no issues. Audio sounded fantastic. Again, no problems. Pretty spot on, nothing really more to say on the print. And as usual, I put the disc in and hit play and watched the version that it sort of forces me to watch, that it tells me to watch. It was the English dub, but I did panic ever so slightly when the film started. The first few characters we meet, I think they're talking French, and there's no subtitles. So, you know, as you can probably imagine, you start thinking, is the whole film going to be like this? Am I missing the subtitles? Should I try and figure out where the subtitles are? Luckily, it was just for that first 5 minutes or so, and I guess we don't need to know what they said, really. I mean, you could pretty much have a guess, really. But then the rest of the film was just in English, so no problems there. Didn't need to faff about with any settings or anything like that. And on the disc, we get the English version and the Italian version, as we usually do. We get a 45-minute Q&A over Skype with the director, and also a 36-minute interview with the director. Then we get an interview with the writer, and that's about 11 minutes long, and then an interview with the producer, which is about 10 minutes long. So, plenty on the disc to sink your teeth into, really. Not bad at all. Okay, let's look at this case then. Again, we get the black stylised slipcover to comfortably match with the other recent releases. We get the 3 different cover variants as well. I do really like this bridge shot, especially on the black background. And the other covers are pretty good too, not bad at all. As usual, the Shameless write-up is pretty good, really sells the film and the information is all correct. Also, this is one of the rare non-18 releases. This is only the second one they've put out that's not an 18. This one being a 15, the first 15 we've had in the collection. And yeah, I could see why, it's pretty tame really. Nothing much more to say on this one. They've done a good job yet again. I once again opted for the low numbered version. I got 0203 this time. Pretty high to say that I went for a low one, but it's still in their 250 range that they advertise, so it's fine, I guess. Overall then, this was alright, yeah. It's got a decent mood, nice cinematography, good music, but it's a little too slow in parts, the pacing can kind of kill it, and it overstays its welcome. I'd say it's worth a look for giallo fans. If you've seen all the best and you need something else to really sink your teeth into, this might scratch an itch. It's not quite bottom of the barrel, but it's nowhere near Argento or Fulci or some of the best, you know. As far as releases go, this release is pretty fantastic, to be honest. I've not got any complaints with the presentation, really, and you get some extra to sink your teeth into. It's not too bad at all, really. For you importers out there, though, there is an Arrow Blu-ray from the US. Now, I can't speak for the quality of this one, but it exists, and it's Arrow. Arrow are usually pretty good. So, there's that option too. So yeah, pretty decent, pretty good, this episode. Better than some of the hard gore trash I've been having to sit through anyway recently, so it's been a nice little change, to be honest. And next time, who knows, who knows? I know that Shameless did sort of tease the Bronx Warrior trilogy, or maybe even just the first one, as a Blu-ray release at some point this year. That was quite an early tease though, that, and they've must have done about 5 or 6 films since then. So who knows if we're going to get that. I mean, you never know, they might shove it out back end of the year. Who knows? So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.